Hi there. Right now I've so far created over 70 videos. And looking back on what I've been doing over the last year and a half or so, I come to the conclusion that, well, I've tried scripting my videos. It's something I'm not very good at. I tend to be rather flat and unemotional when I'm scripting because things do not come quite as spontaneous, you might say. So, this video is a thank you, really, for the people who have been following my videos. In future, you will see more videos that will be basically more about the art of photography, about making an image, than they will be about the gear used to make that image. However, I'm someone with a limited amount of experience. I've played around with Canon equipment. I've played around with Nikon equipment. I have owned Nikon mount cameras in the form of a Fuji S2 Pro. I have owned Canon gear in the form of a Rebel XT. But I have stayed with Pentax because, well, basically it's a company that I had started out with. And I was familiar with it. I knew how reliable they were. There were a lot of things about them that were positive in my eye. In fact, I had sort of put down a few things. Let me see. Wrong notes. Well, I didn't put them down here. But the fact is that I know that it is a reliable camera system. My cameras are sturdy. They are able to take a fair amount of abuse. The lenses have character. They may not be the sharpest, but as I mentioned in the last video, and as a few other people online have noted, we can get carried away with sharpness because we can blow up these images and pixel peep on our computer monitors. If we were looking at these images printed, we would probably find that a lot of the images that we now look at as not sharp enough are in fact better images than those that have crystal clear sharpness out to the edges. So, I'm not worried about that. If it gives me a pleasant image that looks good in a print or looks good online, then I'm quite happy with that. So Pentax is where I am staying. I mentioned the fact that because I had strayed off to the Minolta Maxim system in the past, that I do have an older Sony CCD camera, an Alpha 330, which I use with my Sony lenses. Sorry. I only have one Sony lens. My Minolta lens is actually very old, first generation Minolta Maxim lenses to be exact. One of them, my 70 to 210, actually has the crossed X Maxim that Minolta had to get rid of because they were sued by Exxon, the oil company, that also uses a crossed X's in the text that they used for their name. I have gotten heavily into Micro Four Thirds, but when I say heavily, let me qualify that. I do not have the high-end, expensive Micro Four Thirds lenses, but I do have very capable lenses, which I have shown here in the past in earlier videos, so I don't need to go back over that. So the point is, I have three systems that I am somewhat familiar with. The Sony system is really just an addendum, so it's not really one that I know a lot about. Pentax I have used extensively, and I have been very heavily involved in one of the forum groups for Pentax cameras. Olympus is a relatively new experience. It's been over the last 5 years or so, maybe a little longer. And over that 5 or 6 years, I have progressed to the point where now I own a first generation, a Mark I OMD EM1. So I really have the, what was a generation ago, the top end of the Olympus Micro Four Thirds layout of cameras, ecosystem as some people like to call them. So that's where I am equipment-wise. Now, when it comes to my photography, that's where things are very different. I have, over the past few months, made a greater effort to get out and shoot different things. And I'm hoping that in future videos I will be able to talk much more extensively about composition. Because right now, composition means much more to me than lens sharpness or megapixels or frame rates. And I think for most of you, that probably is where you should be as well. So folks, if you have been one of my faithful followers, then give me a like so I'll know. And if you would like to see more of my videos, which will be far more focused than this one is meant to be, as I said, more of a thank you to my viewers than anything else. But if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe. And of course, if you would like to introduce me to your friends, then share this video. Well, that's it. Bye for now.